Hey guys, what's up? I'm Connor from the Dookie Boys here, coming to you guys with a review slash news. So, the date today, by the way, if you're wondering, Landon is busy at the moment, so he's not going to be in this video, even though apparently he really wanted to. Today is February 1st, 2014. Let me take you back 20 years ago to the year 1994, the year that my brother was born. In the year 1994, there was a little band on the outskirts of Oakland, California. The original name of this band was called Sweet Children. The band changed their name when they first formed, which was back in 1987. A little after, they they named themselves Green Day, which is my personal favorite band of all time. They named themselves Green Day because of their obsession with marijuana and all that stuff, and they had two albums that were released prior to the year 1993. Those two albums were called 39 Smooth and Kerplunk. Kerplunk was a little more better selling than 39 Smooth, or 1039 as it was changed to as a compilation album. It was a little more Kerplunk was a little more selling than 1039, and it sold over 500,000 copies across the entire U.S., which up to that point was their best-selling album. A year later, in the year 1994, they released a little album called Dookie, which was one of the most groundbreaking albums of the 1990s, if not one of the best-selling albums of the 1990s. This, as most critics will say, is the second... I own it twice, by the way. I own this version of it, which I got from this place called FYE. You already know what that place is, probably. It has this. And then in that box set that I have, the studio album 1990 to 2009, I got this in there, which basically just has a front cover, back cover, and see. Anyways, as I was saying, critics mostly say that there are two albums that came out in the 1990s that are probably the most influential albums of the 1990s. Number one, Nirvana, Nevermind. It's the album that kind of helped spawn grunge music, helped spawn the genre. And then the second most influential album that most critics say is Green Day's Dookie. It is the album that helped landmark a new genre of music. The genre was a side genre of the music called punk rock. They made a side genre which is called pop punk. The reason why it's called pop punk is because it has really fast pace and aggressive attitude to it, like punk rock music. But the lyrics are a little popish. Like if you were to hear the song off this album called Basket Case, the first lyrics on that song are, "Do you have the time to listen to me whine?" That's telling you right there that if this didn't have the rock background, and if they changed up the lyrics a little bit, it could perfectly be a pop song. But it's Green Day, so you don't question that. Yeah, so other information that I know about this album, besides that little monologue that I just had to myself back there. As you know, the name of our channel is the Dookie Boys, because, well, Dookie is our favorite album by Green Day. In fact, I own it twice. I'm actually going to be owning it 3 times, because after I upload this video on YouTube, I'm actually ordering it off of Amazon.com, because I can't find it any record stores on vinyl, so I'm going to get it on there. I found 180 gram, thought it was grand, 180 gram vinyl on Amazon, so I'm going to be downloading that. So yeah, Green Day's Dookie, released in 1994 on February 1st, 1994. Today, February 1st, 2014, is the 20th anniversary for this album. Now, I have not heard any news if this album is going to be re-released and a 20th anniversary thing like they did with In Utero by Nirvana last year. By the way, the vinyl for In Utero, the 20th anniversary, $78. I mean, I love that album, but I wouldn't spend that much money on it. Moving on. Yeah, so the way that I actually heard this album, this is actually not the first. It is my favorite Green Day album, but I will say it is not the first Green Day album that I ever heard. And it's not the first Green Day album that I ever owned. The first Green Day album that I actually ever owned was Nimrod. And the first Green Day song that I ever actually listened to was Good Riddance, Time of Your Life, and I think Hitchin' a Ride was another song, or Redundant was another song. But the first Green Day album that I actually have ever fully listened to is American Idiot, which is turning 10 this year on September 20th. So I'll be reviewing it then, too. Or we, if Landon chooses to be in the video or not. But, yeah. This, by far, by the way, is one of the most best-selling albums of the 1990s, and the best-selling album of Green Day to date. The top 3 best-selling Green Day albums are Dookie, American Idiot, and Insomniac. This album, to this day, has sold over 20 million copies, which is huge. Green Day sells. I'll admit, I'm saying this right now. I love this album to death. This is one of my in my top 5 favorite albums of all time. It's number 3. So that tells you how much I love this album. Other stuff that I actually learned about this album, and well, I'm gonna be going through the tracks and telling you how I like them. But before I go into that, first off, I want to talk about the front cover of this album, which is hilarious if you really look at it. It was actually made by, I forgot what the name of the artist was, but he made it, and I guess the whole idea that he had behind the album is, I guess he wanted to represent what he thought Oakland, California was kind of like, so he made that. There's too much stuff to point out on here to count. I almost dropped it. But, yeah. Also, I learned this the other day. Well, I actually did this for a while. I'm just saying the other day because I say that a lot. The back cover is not the original back cover. The original back cover for this album was a plush doll of Ernie from Sesame Street. You heard me right. The back cover for Green Day's Dookie was originally Ernie from Sesame Street. The reason why that was taken off is because Sesame Street threatened to sue Green Day because a lot of people, as a joke, would pick up the album, turn it around, put it back, and have the plush doll of Ernie from Sesame Street and just put it down to confuse parents, to make them think that they're buying a lullaby thing for their kid and all that stuff, and then they buy it and then they play it with being idiots and not going, it's not Sesame Street, but they would buy it and then play it, and that's totally not a lullaby. So yeah, if we open it up, it's broken, I guess. Not really, but yeah. We get to see the CD, which it has the explosion from the front and the dogs inside the pilot. I get the joke there, but yeah, and it has the names of the tracks, and it's kind of a brownish color. Also, the original name for this album was not actually Dookie. The original name was Liquid Dookie, but the producers at Reprise Records said that would be deemed too gross, so they just shortened it to Dookie. And I'm kind of glad they did that, because if I told someone, who's your favorite band? Green Day. Oh, what's your favorite album by them? Liquid Dookie. That's disgusting, and then they would probably walk away. Yeah, also it has a booklet inside, has the names of the tracks, and has the lyrics. Sorry about that, my camera shut off, but as I was saying, yeah, there's a booklet in here, and it comes with the names of the tracks. Has all the names of the tracks, like it has all of them from Burnout to the song In the End, but it has only half of the lyrics to the song FOD, which are pretty simple. You don't really need to know the rest of the lyrics for that song, because it's pretty simple to figure out. But it does not have the lyrics to the hidden track, which is not exactly hidden, because every Green Day fan knows about this song. The song comes after the song FOD. It comes about 2.5 minutes after, or a minute and a half afterwards, and it's Trey Cool, the drummer. If you didn't know that, you're an idiot. My real question is, if you're looking at a review for an album by Green Day, at least know the members of the band. Anyways, so yeah, Trey Cool, he's on the guitar, and he's singing a song. The song's called All By Myself, and if you're wondering, Landon actually made a cover of that song, and you can click the link below to see that video. It ain't that bad, I'm telling you right now. But yeah, also, I'm going to be going through the tracks and telling you what I think of them, I guess. Okay, so the first song on the album is called Burnout, and this is actually one of my favorite songs from the album. The song is a little over 2 minutes long, and it's actually one of the, well, this album is actually one of the only Green Day albums that actually had, well, I can also probably say that American Idiot and 21st Century Breakdown have this, but this is one of the only Green Day albums that a drum solo is in. And a few songs have drum solos in them, and Burnout is the one that most people know of when they think of a drum solo by Green Day. They usually think of the song Burnout because it's such a great song. And yeah, so the song Burnout, I guess the idea behind the song is I think the main thing behind the song is that it's about a guy who's in a room who's smoking weed and all that stuff, and how he's talking about, I'm not growing up, I'm just burning out. So he's not exactly growing up, he's just going to become a burnout in his life. So that's the song Burnout. The drum solo I'm trying to figure out how to do, but, well, I can kind of do it. By the way, I bought this the other day. I bought 2 pairs of drumsticks. I got Travis Barker drumsticks, Blink-182, and I also got Trey Cool drumsticks. And the problem is that I was using them so much that Trey Cool was wiped off of them, so I covered them up with tape. Just my luck. The second song on here is called Having a Blast, and I'm going to say this right now. If there was a song by a band that has the same exact lyrics as the song Having a Blast, I think there'd be a little controversy in this day and age. Like, if the song Having a Blast, if Green Day was still the same way they were back then, and they made the album Dookie in the year 2004, that would cause a lot of problems, because the main idea for the song is a guy who's fed up with life, fed up with everyone being an asshole to him and all that stuff. So what he does is he takes a bomb, straps it to his chest, and says, I'm gonna fucking kill you all, and you're all going down with me. Like, the song is like, yeah, I'm taking all you down with me. Explosions duct tape to my spine. Nothing's gonna change my mind. I won't listen to anyone's last words. There's nothing left for you to say. Soon you'll be dead anyways. So basically, he's pissed at everyone who's been a douchebag to him his entire life. So he's not gonna hear any more of their bullshit, and he's just gonna kill them all. Great song. If it was played this day and age, everyone would probably go fucking nuts. Yeah, I can probably name a few bands who would still do that. Anyways. Track 3 is called Chump, and the song is about a guy who, I don't know if there's ever been a moment in your life, but I've probably had this before too. If there's ever been a person that you've seen in your life that for no reason at all, the person just, for some odd reason, you just fucking hate that person. That person has never done anything to you. You almost never met the person in their entire life. You don't even know the person's name. You just hate them. So, are you just a person who has an extremely violent mind, or are you just a chump? Are you just an asshole? So yeah, also the song, after the last lyric of the song, there's actually just like a band breakdown, and it's actually really freaking cool. I like the drum beat for that because it's really freaking fast. And then the song segues into the first single released, the song Longview. And going back on how punk rock sounded back then, Longview is a little different sounding for a punk rock song. Okay, pop punk if you want to be specific. I consider it a punk song. The song Longview, it starts with Trey Cool doing this really cool tom drum beat, and in the background it has the bassist Mike Dirnt playing a bass. Playing one of the most known bass riffs ever known in song history. And the cool thing, not really cool, but the weird thing to note about that is that the bass line that he figured out on there, first time he ever did it, he was on acid. Basically, the story behind that is that Billy Joe, he was out and all that stuff, and he came back and he just sees Mike just laying there just laying down on the ground with his bass like this. And all of a sudden he's just like, dude, Billy, you gotta listen to this. And he starts playing the bass line for the song Longview. He's like, ain't that the wackiest thing you've ever heard in your life? And Billy Joe is just like, I just hope you can remember it. And he said it took him a while, but he actually learned how to redo it, but it made more sense when he was on drugs. Yeah, so I guess the basic idea behind the song Longview, here's how I interpret the song. The song is about being at home, being really bored, doing everything in your power to not be bored, and being so bored just staying home, smoking pot, watching TV, jerking off, and being so bored that jerking off's just not even worth it anymore. Even that's boring to you, and you're just so bored, and everyone's trying to tell you to do stuff, but you're just too bored to do anything. And yeah, it's basically, I think, the idea behind the song Longview. The next song is, I think, the third single from the album. Correct me. By the way, any mistake that I make on here saying which single is which, correct me, because I don't know. The song is Welcome to Paradise, and the basic idea behind the song is that it's about someone who's moving to Oakland, California, and basically, he's like, I guess he's kind of writing like 2 letters to his mother, saying like, "Dear mother, can you hear me whining? It's been 3 whole months since I've left your home, and like I'm wondering if I should stay, because this place is kind of feeling like my home." And then it gets into really awesome drum, bass, and guitar breakdown, which is one of my favorite things ever. The bass on that thing, Landon knows how to play that. I know how to play the drum part. Haven't met anyone who can play the guitar part yet, which I'm guessing if you play guitar, some people have told me that it's kind of easy on YouTube. But yeah, the song Welcome to Paradise, also one of my favorite songs on here. The next song is called Pulling Teeth, and bear with me on this. I really think that the song Pulling Teeth, if you had the exact same lyrics and the exact same idea, this could easily be a country song. Think about it. Even in Reading 2013, when they played the entire album of Green Day, which blew my fucking mind, by the way, when they dropped the Dookie flag and they start playing the entire album at Reading, Billy Joe, when they first start the song, he walks out in a cowboy hat, and he even sang the song in kind of a country style, and he even used an acoustic guitar. So the song Pulling Teeth could easily be a song that is like kind of a country song. Also, the song's about having a girlfriend that's abusive. Listen to the lyrics of the song and you'll understand what I mean by when I say that. Basic idea behind it is like, I'm all busted up, no one knows I'm locked in here, I better tell her I love her or this will happen again. Oh god, she's killing me. Like, he has an abusive girlfriend, but he doesn't want to leave her. There's actually a word and a syndrome for that, and it's actually the name of a song by Blink-182. It's called Stockholm Syndrome. It's where if you're getting kidnapped or you're being tortured by someone, and a little bit like after it, like while you're being tortured, you kind of get used to and you start loving the person who's torturing you. It's called Stockholm Syndrome. So I guess this song is like the Stockholm Syndrome anthem. The next song is the second single off of this album. Correct me if I'm wrong. The song, I've already stated this song. The song is called Basket Case, and it's the first song that I ever heard off of Dookie. Yeah, I know. The song is basically the lead singer and songwriter, Billy Joe Armstrong. He stated that this song is about kind of like the insomnia that he has had in his life and all that, and like how he's kind of went crazy for the last few months and all that. So yeah, the song Basket Case, it's a really good song. That's all I really have to say about it, actually. The next song is called She, and that is the 5th single off this album, the final single that was put off of it, and it's the only single off of this album that actually doesn't have a music video. It's the only single that doesn't have a music video. All the rest of the singles, like Longview, Welcome to Paradise, Basket Case, and When I Come Around, which I'm gonna get to, all those songs have music videos to them, except for the song She. The song is basically about a girl who's basically the lyrics are you locked up in a world that's been planned out for you? So basically her entire life has been planned out for her, and every decision is made for her and all that stuff, and she can never make decisions for her own, and that's the song She. Yeah, like, and then another thing is like Scream at Me Until My Ears Bleed. Like, it's basically saying like I don't know if it's her or him, but it's like they get yelled at all the time and people just won't leave them alone. So that's that song. Song Sassafras Roots. I don't exactly know what a sassafras roots is, but I'm guessing since it's Green Day, it has something to do with weed. By the way, I don't smoke weed if you're wondering, because I'm talking about a lot. With the song Sassafras Roots, it's basically like roaming around your house, you're wasting your time doing all this stuff when you could be wasting your time with me. So instead of wasting your time by yourself, why not waste your time with me? That's the song. The next song is called When I Come Around. I'm going to the lyrics to figure out what the meanings of these songs are, if you're wondering. I've been doing that a lot. What the fuck was that? Anyways, yeah, the song When I Come Around is... I'm not even kidding here. The song When I Come... I think a tie between the song Longview... No, between the song Basket Case and the song When I Come Around. I think those two songs are tied for my favorite song off this album. The song When I Come Around is, well, the first lyrics are, I heard you crying loud all the way across town. You've been searching for someone, and it's me out on the prowl. Hold on. Yeah, it's basically telling the person, like, you know, you'll find me when I come around and all that stuff, and I guess that's kind of the idea of the song. The song is actually the slowest song off of this entire album, and it's actually the most known one because it's played on the radio every goddamn second. Which I'm not complaining because I love this song, but yeah. Drum beat on the song is good, bass line on the song. The singing is top notch because it's Green Day, you know, it has to be good. The next song is called Coming Clean. Now, this song actually has a little more of a meaning behind it. See, the lead singer of Green Day, Billy Joe Armstrong, is a bisexual. He's stated that many times and has stated that in many interviews. I don't know. But the song Coming Clean is apparently about him when he was 17 and he was confused and he was wondering if, like, which one he likes or if he likes both and all that stuff. It's basically stating about a person who has a problem with themselves, like they don't know what their sexuality is. So they're trying to figure out what it is, and they want to know if they're coming, like, the first lyrics are 17 and strung out on confusion, trapped inside a hole of disillusion, so they don't know. That's basically the idea behind the song, so it's about coming out, I guess. The next song is called Many Sleep Us, I think is how it's pronounced, and it's basically about when you're friends with someone for a really, really extremely long time, and then you finally like see the person as they really are and realize, wow, this person's not as great as I thought they were. This is also one of the other songs in this album that has a drum solo in it, and the drum solo is pretty good on this song. It's kind of impressive, actually. Well, it's Trey Cool. Everything he does is impressive, and he's awesome. I don't think Trey Cool can get mad, by the way. There has never been a sense that I've ever seen where Trey Cool has just got pissed off. I've never seen that before. The guy can just not get mad. I don't think it's possible, and if he does, it's probably hilarious. But yeah, the song Many a Sleep Us, really good. Yeah. The next song is called In the End, and it is the fastest song off of this album. And the song is about figuring out what someone's about in their life, and I hope in the end when you finally come around, I hope I'm not there because I just don't care. Yeah. The next song is called FOD, which stands for Fuck Off and Die. The basic idea behind the song is if there's ever anybody in your life who you just full on hate or just can't despise, who just despise and all that stuff, just tell them to fuck off and die. Just tell them to FOD. Just play that song to them. It's a good song. I love the lyric in the song. It's like, you're just a fuck. I can't explain it because I think you suck. Taking time to telling you to fuck off and die. And after that song is a hidden track that actually does not show on the back of this. The song is called All By Myself, and it's by Trey Cool, and it's actually by Trey Cool as he's playing on the acoustic guitar and he's singing the song at the same time. And basically the song is, I was alone, I was all by myself. I went to your house, I went in your room, I was all by myself. I love when he plays live because he switches up the lyrics instead of just saying, oh yeah, did I mention I was all by myself? He's like, I had an erection, I was all by myself. Yeah, so those are the tracks off of Green Day's Dookie. I'm going to be naming my top 7 favorite songs off here. It's my top half. Alright, so here we go. Top 7 tracks off of Green Day's Dookie. I'd have to say my top 7 are Burnout, because of the drum solo. Chump, Longview, because they're kind of one song. If you really listen to it, the song Chump at the end, it goes right in to the song Longview. Pulling Teeth, Basket Case, She, and When I Come Around. Honorable mentions are the rest of the album, because this is my favorite album by Green Day. I could listen to this album over and 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 over again, because I have done that before. I've almost never gotten sick of this album. This album just, if anyone walks up to me and says, "Oh, why do you like Green Day?" Listen to the album Dookie. You'll figure out why I love them so much. This album is groundbreaking. This album is amazing. This album is not overrated. Shut up, critics. This is not an overrated album. This is, of all things, if people do not know about Green Day, most people, these are the 2 albums that people know by Green Day. And although I love these albums, if you really listen to it, this is kind of not exactly what Green Day is supposed to sound like. Don't get me wrong, I love 21st Century Breakdown, and American Idiot is my second favorite album by Green Day. But having 2 concept albums in a row is a little redundant. I will say that Uno, Dos, and Tre, mostly Uno and Tre, because this is Foxborough Hot Tubs, let's be honest. Besides the song Nightlife, which we don't talk about. But the album Uno and Tre, mostly Uno, actually I respect those albums so much because of how they go back and try to replicate what Green Day used to sound like. Because if you really go back and listen to 1039 through Nimrod, you'll notice that those albums are kind of the punkish albums and pop punkish albums by Green Day. And then when you go from Warning until Awesome as Fuck, you're gonna notice that those are kind of the concept albums and them trying to be political and all that stuff. Which actually, I respect their political views and I actually agree with them a little bit. But I'm actually noticing this right now as I'm making this review. Although I love American Idiot and 21st Century Breakdown and Uno, Dos, and Tre, I will always prefer older Green Day over newer Green Day. Which is surprising to most people, because every time that I mention Green Day, I have to talk to them about 21st Century Breakdown or American Idiot, because that's all people know about Green Day. Most people don't. Most people that I've met don't even know that Dookie was an album. Surprisingly, I was actually one of those people. You see, I thought a really, really long time ago, well, actually, I knew that Dookie was an album, but a really, really long time ago, back in the year 2008, which is 2007 was around the year when I started like loving Green Day and them becoming my favorite band, and then 21st Century Breakdown came out and I got really excited for that album. I knew about the album Dookie, but I never knew about 1039 Kerplunk, so I thought Dookie was the first Green Day album. Even Green Day Rock Band almost helped me on that, but then I figured out about 1039 Kerplunk and I was like, oh, I'm an idiot. And then I bought them. I also before I actually bought Dookie and all those albums. Well, before I had every single album by Green Day, I made it devoted to myself that I was going to, over this one summer, that I was going to buy every single Green Day album. So I already had American Idiot, and I already had 21st Century Breakdown. So then I found, this is the order that I actually bought them in. The order that I bought them in was International Super Hits, Shenanigans, Dookie, Nimrod, Dookie, Warning, Insomniac, 1039, and Kerplunk. So Kerplunk was actually the last album that I bought by Green Day before Uno, Dos, and Tre came out. Okay, I guess you can also count Bullet in a Bible and Awesome as Fuck. Actually, I had Bullet in a Bible and then I bought Uno, Dos, and Tre, and then I bought Awesome as Fuck and then Quattro. So there's a little Green Day side note for you, I guess. But going back to Dookie, yeah. So this is mine and Landon's favorite album by Green Day. Second favorite album is American Idiot. I'd have to say my third favorite album by Green Day is either Insomniac or Nimrod. I know a lot of people didn't like Insomniac when it came out, which I don't get, but I'm gonna say that Insomniac is my third favorite album by Green Day. Weird how my top three are the top three best-selling albums by Green Day. But yeah, so that's pretty much my review for Green Day's Dookie. The rating I would give on this album, I know it sounds cliche, but I'm gonna be going over the 10 out of 10 mark. So I'd have to give this album a pure... Okay, going back on the Abbey Road and going back on the Sgt. Pepper's review, the only reason why I gave that album a 12 out of 10 so low is, well, kind of low on the above 10 mark, is because I was with Landon. So I'd probably give Sgt. Pepper's and Abbey Road, I'd probably give Abbey Road a 20 out of 10 and give Sgt. Pepper's a 16 out of 10, and I'd probably have to give Green Day's Dookie a 15 out of 10 because it is pure gold. It went platinum, I think twice. So yeah, that's pretty much my review for Green Day's Dookie. I hope you enjoyed the video, and subscribe, and okay, I'm going to be going back on my Connor and Landon show ending here, so 3, 2, 1, I'm done. Subscribe, hit the like button with your forehead, add us on Gmail, like us on, you already know the drill. Bye.